Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Florida Aviation Network. My name is Lori Bradner, and we are here broadcasting live and in the clear from Sun and Fun 52. And as we have said all week, we are red, white, and blue in 52, and we are most definitely, this week for sure, having fun in the sun. And those of you that have been following Florida Aviation Network all week long and watching our broadcasts, as always, the very last day, very sad to say it is the last day of the air show, but we always save the best guests for last. That's what they say. And today I am truly honored to have one of my favorite people of all time that I have had the pleasure of interviewing several times, Brian diLorenzo from Piedmont. Brian, I would reach over, but I don't want to be rude to our guests, so I'm going to give you a wave.
We'll do an
and wave
air
to
high
you.
five, yeah.
But I know that you were here yesterday with our anchor host, Ben. But today, you truly did, as Piedmont always does, because you are the best of the best. You save the best for the last. And you brought a guest with you that I have been tickled just to talk with before we started the broadcast. And so I want to welcome this is Captain Brady Freeze, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
It's Brady as in?
Tom Brady,
Yes, but Tom Brady has to ride in the...
back of the airplane.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom, you can't fly the plane. You don't have the stripes, but he does. Well, Captain Freeze, it is an honor. And Brian, thank you so much for bringing and
Thanks
being
for having
here
us.
on our last day of Sun and Fun. Obviously, we're all about aviation. We're all about aviation safety. I always like to start. If you don't, do you prefer Captain Freeze, or may I call you Brady?
You may call me Brady. That's
Brady,
fine, Laura.
okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about everyone has a story.
Yeah.
What's your story? Where did this all start? And then we'll get to how you got to Piedmont and how Brian found you.
Yeah. Obviously, first things, Lori, I'm blessed to be here. I'm thankful. Thanks for having us this morning. It's wonderful. It's been an amazing week. I grew up around a small local airport in the middle of Pennsylvania called Penn Valley Airport in Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania. So I'm born and raised just north of Harrisburg. It's the capital of Pennsylvania. Grew up around that local airport. I found a love of flying, was to many air shows, got tons of airplane rides, always had to watch a little Citation jet take off and land whenever it came in or
Who
left.
took you to the air shows?
How
did you get there?
So
was it a family thing?
Yeah,
or
it was
how
a
did you get
family
there?
thing. My mom took me there. My grandfather, before he passed, he was Coast Guard.
Really?
He took me as well. I've tons
Thank
of
you.
photos of that. It was a blessing. And then going forward into it, obviously going to college, getting the degree.
Where did you go to college?
Penn State University. Got
Nice.
a business degree. I know I'm a
The
Nittany
Nittany
Lion.
Lions.
I'm a Nittany Lion,
Awesome,
yes, ma'am.
awesome.
So,
Well, we've got ties. You might know, do you know York?
York, Pennsylvania? Yes, ma'am.
And you know Dallastown.
I know Dallastown, yes.
I was a Dallastown Wildcat. Yeah.
So we have more in common than what we were talking about
We
previously.
do, absolutely. So, so keep going. So you went to Penn State.
Yes, ma'am.
And was flying something, did you always want to be an airline pilot? Is that something did you major in aeronautics? What was your major?
So I majored in business. With that being said, I knew I wanted to fly.
Okay.
I really didn't have the funds growing up to do it.
Right.
So I was working, during my senior year of college, building up some of the financial stability to do that, to acquire my private pilot. While working at a financial institute, I was looking out the glass windows and I was jealous. I wanted to fly more.
Yeah.
And during that, beautiful blue sunny sky days, even when there's some clouds, I was stuck inside in the AC. And, from there, I went on and, I took that passion of wanting to fly more rather than just recreationally.
Yeah.
And, I went to a Part 61 accelerated path program, took the admissions flight.
Was that in Pennsylvania?
That was in
at the airport, was it?
Trenton, New Jersey.
Trenton, New Jersey. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I found the love to be out there. I connected with everyone. I found the program had to offer to me. you know, we're talking 2020, so 6 years ago. A few months, it'll be 6 years since I started that journey into the commercial side of things. And, you know, I'm very blessed and grateful to be here. You know, I went from credit private to a multi-engine instructor in just 6 months. So.
Wow. Go ahead, Brian, you want to jump in?
Lori, I was just going to add, you know, that we have a lot of people that we speak to that are just starting out, and there are often questions of, like, just how do I do this? And we always find that if you have that passion, you'll find a way. And I think Brady's story is pretty typical. Like, I just knew I wanted to do it. I just had to figure it out, went to school for something else, but knew I was going to do it. So that passion is out there. It's just a matter, and I always stress networking, you know, getting to the airport, talking to other pilots, and making sure you're making those contacts, because that's kind of what it's all about. We know you're going to get in there. It's a matter of how you get in.
What is extraordinary to me about your story is college was business, finance. You said you went into, I'm assuming, the banking industry.
Yes, ma'am.
You're watching out the window with your face pressed against the glass, watching out the window.
Literally.
But a lot of people think that when they break into aviation, that you have to go in with all this experience. You have to have all this experience. You have to have your instrument rating. You have to have your multi-engine. But it sounds to me, just from the story you just told, you didn't have that. You made the choice. And you didn't walk in with all that experience, but you gained it. You went to the right place.
Yes, ma'am. You know, and that's, you know, something that I acquired on my own, was being a first-generational pilot in the family, and having to find the mentorship, and having to do my own research to make sure that I went to somewhere where I found fitting, as well as, you know, where I could end up to be successful.
That's amazing. So then, after you did that, you became an instructor.
Yep.
Where did you go from there? Your story's fascinating. So keep telling the story. Where did you go from there?
So obviously I instructed. You know, I completed the program in January of 2021. I had a few months off, so I was back home. I was able to build a little bit of flight time, do some instructional dual given on the side.
At your local?
At my local airport back home.
Where you used to watch the plane.
Yeah, where I used to watch the airplanes.
And now you're flying them.
Yep, and you know, I talk very much with my private instructor still to this day, keep in very good touch with him. You know, he was a great mentor going up through the program.
Nice.
He was a former Black Hawk pilot, and got his fixed wing, and he taught me, you know, how to fly an aircraft. You know, I still remember my solo to this day, with my dad out there with his phone videoing. You know, it wasn't the prettiest thing, but, you know, we make it work, you know.
Okay,
so.
I have to ask, you have 4 stripes. It's gotten better since then, right?
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I try.
As someone who also sits in the back, I'm just asking.
I think of passenger comfort as well as safety.
Good.
Safety number one, comfort, you know, follows through.
Inquiring minds. Tom Brady wanted to know. We just wanted to make sure. So, okay, so now I have to ask, so you did that, went home, then how did this connection happen? Tell us about this. You always find, Brian, you are amazing.
Wow.
You always find the best of the best, and obviously, key, right?
Yeah, I have to give Brady more of the credit for this one than us, I guess. You know, we're always out looking. We're always willing to talk to people, but Brady kind of went above and beyond. He took it upon himself to mentor. The school that he went to, he became a mentor and put himself out there to mentor younger pilots trying to get into the industry. So I noticed that.
Yeah.
And at some point we connected. He ended up going through the process. I mean, he got there on his own. It's not like, you know, it's not, you know, on his qualifications and his hard work got him at Piedmont. But once he was at Piedmont, and that's why he's with us here this week, he's just a great representative of the people that we have in the company. He really, on his own, wants to talk to younger folks and motivate them to do it. So when we can, we bring Brady along, because he's a poster child of the way it's supposed to work. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
What a find. Now I understand. A little bird told me, so I'm going to put you on the spot. You seem very humble, and I don't want to embarrass you, but I'm going to embarrass him a little bit, because I understand that you just won a very prestigious award that is given by Piedmont. And Brian, can you tell us a little bit about maybe either one of you about what that award is.
Yeah,
because
so maybe-
I would be remiss if we didn't mention it.
Maybe I can talk about the award a little bit, then Brady can kind of talk about his experience with it. But at Piedmont, as I say every time we talk, I spoke about it yesterday, at Piedmont we're really about the people. So we're a family, great culture. And so something we do every year at the company is we have President's Awards, and each department gets to select somebody in that department that represents what Piedmont wants to be and what we're like. And Brady was selected for the flight department this year, so very, very well deserved.
Out of everybody?
Out of everybody in the flight department. So there's different departments that select. So yeah.
That's awesome.
And I told him to bring it, but he wouldn't bring it. Yeah.
You did.
I don't want to risk
Okay,
it being
well,
damaged
we're
in
going to have you
transit.
back
You're a little-
on, and you're going to have to bring it back, okay? Because I want to see this. So what does that mean to you? I mean, how did they let you know? What is the process? Did you know, or was this a secret and then they surprised you?
I was off on the day, and I get a phone call from the chief pilot. And you know, when you get a phone call from the chief pilot, it can
one of
either
two
go
ways.
one of two ways, right? And I was on a day off, and the first thing that she said to me, she said, you know, thanks for answering my call. I know it's your day off. She always does that whenever I, you know, answer on a day off.
Right.
And she was explaining, you know, kind of what it was. And, you know, we're out there actively flying the line. You know, we fly to so many destinations, and we're actively, you know, engaging with the public while we're out flying. So I kind of lost train of thought that this was even a thing, you know, because it had been months past.
Right.
And I got that phone call, and she had told me, and I was at home, and, you know, just that feeling of knowing, you know, what it really means to be a part of the culture and the family of Piedmont and American Eagle. It's a huge, you know, a huge honor to receive that, you know.
Yeah, and we talk a little bit about the ceremony. So we put on a great ceremony. This year it was at the Sullenberg Museum
In Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, and his father got to come. We bring family members in. So yeah, it's and that
Your
night
dad
is,
that was there filming you while you soloed
Yep.
got to be there to watch him get the President's Award.
Yes, ma'am.
great story.
That is awesome. Now, I have to ask, for those, if I may we switch gears? Tell us a little bit about a day in a life for someone that would be interested in ATP, that's interested, since what is your month like? What is your day like? Where do you go? What do you do? How does it all work?
Yeah, you know, our trips vary. We have day trips, we have 3-day trips, 4-day trips. You know, so all that stuff kind of varies depending on the type of flying that you're aspiring to do. And there's tons of flying available.
Okay.
You know, as we go into bidding time.
And where did you start? When you started with your flying time with Piedmont?
So I started right at ATP minimums,
Okay.
1,500 hour, 121
Okay.
Aeronautical experience. You know, going through the training in Charlotte, North Carolina, taking care of the ATP, CTP,
Okay.
you know, through the training footprint for that, going out doing the operational experience. And then once you're off of that, you know, you're either going to hold a reserve line, holding an actual line flying line. So, you know, throughout the training footprint, they very well train you for real life flying out
Okay.
there instead of, you know, just in the simulator,
Okay.
getting out there and flying the actual airplane. And then, you know, once you're out there flying the line, you know, you're connecting with so many pilots and flight attendants, you know, schedulers and dispatch, maintenance personnel, gate agents, ramp, you know, management and coordinators. There's so much involved
all a
into
team.
it. Yeah, I mean, it's
Right.
a whole system, logistics, team collaboration to make one flight happen.
Yeah.
You know, getting to the aircraft, you know, especially on a first flight, what we call an originator,
Okay.
ensuring that we have, you know, done all of our safety checks and done the crew briefings and,
Okay.
you know, checking the dispatch release, you know, right even before passengers even board the aircraft.
Before we even
Yeah,
know.
before you even know, we've done a lot of our checks, and
Yeah.
we've done it. You know, the most important thing in that is a crew briefing.
Yeah.
You know, getting to know one another and the experience, and you know, what is the day going to look like?
Yeah.
You know, and especially if you're flying 5 legs, you know, or four legs of flying that day, it's going to be a lot of flying. So making sure that each other, you know, needs are met. You know, hydrated, well rested. You know, healthy. You know, that's really important as well.
Awesome.
You know, safety of flight is something that, you know, I focus extremely on. I make sure that my crew is well taken care of. Every flight as well, because if we're not, then our passengers aren't.
Awesome.
And safety of flight is my number one priority.
Awesome. And then how does your schedule work during the month for someone that might, we've got a lot of young people here that are interested in, and you're an inspiration to them that would want to follow in their footsteps. So, how often do you, and they may not know, but do you have to fly every day, or how does your schedule work monthly? How do you do that?
So we get a minimum of 12 days off guaranteed. It's in our contract right now.
Okay.
So that's nice. A typical line flying, you could see yourself out, again, depends on the type of flying that you're doing. 3 days off consecutively, working 4 days. If you're reserve, you have a little bit of flexibility to maybe move some of that timeline. So you work, you could have 6 days of reserve, so that way you have a little bit more time off in a row.
Nice.
So all that stuff, there's a little bit of movement that you can do.
Okay.
Vacation, things like that, that really just allow a little bit of that flexibility in your schedule so that you have that quality of life that you desire.
That's awesome. Now, what's the next step for you? Where do you go from here? What is your heart's desire? Where do you want to go from here?
I would love to see the Dreamliner out of Philadelphia with American.
Really?
I would.
Okay. I speak into the caller, so he heard that.
Hey, they know I'm very transparent with them. They know, everyone knows.
Phone call. We'll get
Everyone knows that.
That's right. Yeah, okay. Well, as I say, speak into his collar a little bit. There we go. And this is being recorded for posterity, so we got you on that. I just want you to know.
So, Lori, that's actually a great point to bring up. So, being at Piedmont, we have an automatic flow to American Airlines because we're wholly owned by American.
Right.
So the plan is for Brady to hit that flow time and automatic, no second interview, automatic and American. So we sound real big, we can make a phone call, but he's going to American if he wants
No,
to.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask, because it sounds, was your path accelerated? Is this the normal? And maybe, Brian, you can speak to this. You both can. It sounds to me like the path after you decided, just because of your dedication, because of your perseverance, and I'm going to use Angela Duckworth's grit, because of the grit that you have. It sounds to me that you really accelerated very quickly through the program. Is that the norm? Is that something? Is that the norm? You know what I'm saying as far as his
as far as the
timeline?
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The industry is difficult because those timelines come and go
Right.
just depending on how many applications we have, how many seats we have, the cost of fuel weighs into it, how many we're hiring. So a lot of it is timing, but I think Brady's a perfect example of how you can get out in front just by being motivated and keeping after it and networking and showing up and getting the work done. So, his path may be a little quicker, but again, it's just the work you put into it.
Awesome. Now, I want to ask, are you here for the day today?
I'm here for the day. We've been here all week long, 9 to 5. It's been wonderful.
Awesome. So
It's
tell
been
us a
great.
little bit. I always want our guests, because yesterday you may not know, but we filled to capacity. They literally
Amazing.
had to turn, if you did not have a ticket, there were so many guests here that they had to shut the doors. We were at capacity, and I'm sure that's part of that is the fire marshal and security. It's like, whoa, stop that. But where can they find you? Is people that might be interested and want to meet you and want to talk to you, and certainly can't say enough about Piedmont and the culture, not just for those that want to fly, but maybe for those that want to be on the ground, that are interested in the. Where can they find you on the grounds? Can they come see you today?
Yeah, they can definitely come see us today. So we actually have two different booths. So we're in Hangar A, booth 42. We're known for our famous swag, so you have to swing by and see what we have this year. You got a sneak preview. We brought you some
I did.
yesterday,
It was
so.
awesome.
Yeah, so swing by A42, the hangar booth, and then also we're in the career fair, which Brady will be in the career fair for the day.
Good.
He's been here all week.
Okay.
So free to join us at either booth location for today. Yeah.
Okay, Brady, I've been told that we've got 1 minute, and I want to just keep talking to you. But is there one piece of advice that you would give to those that are listening, and maybe some of our younger interns here?
Yeah, a runway can lead to endless destinations. When you take off, there's a world of airports, there's a world of lakes that you can land on with an amphibian aircraft. be aspiring, take those passions and make those dreams into reality. I did. I've been very blessed. I'm thankful. And, you know, this is my way of giving back. It's very much so a calling, I would like to say.
Awesome.
So,
Brian, I want to say thank you to you.
Yes.
You saved the best for last.
We always do.
And
Thank you so
Captain
much.
Freeze, I want to say thank you for joining.
Yes,
I
thanks
also
for
want to
having
wish
us.
you a very happy birthday.
Same to you
we
as
just
well.
found out that we're birthday twins June 16th. So I might just
love
be a
that.
tad, just a few years older, but I just want to wish you a happy birthday.
Thanks, Lori.
So we appreciate you both being here. My name is Lori Bradner. We're here with the Florida Aviation Network, where we're broadcasting live and in the clear at Sun and Fun, where 52, we are red, white, and blue in 52. There's still one more day. You still have today to come see us. We hope that you will come see us today.